All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are breaking down Packers rookie Lukas Van Ness and his performance against the Los Angeles Rams. This rookie is getting better and better. He's becoming quite the defensive playmaker for the Packers, and we've got a great set of cut-ups here to highlight just that. If you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us a comment with any feedback you might have, but without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's start with the pass rush. There's Van Ness right there at the top of your screen. And the Rams are just running just a standard pass protection, play fake action here with the running back. And Stafford's going to fake to the running back and the loop around right here. This is a shot play the Rams are trying to run. And in situations like this, whenever teams try and do these play actions, they're trying to sell that it's a run. And if it was a run in this case, the tight end for the Rams, the backside tight end, would be trying to block the end man on the line of scrimmage. They try and sell that in pass protection as well. This is famously a mismatch all the time for quality edge rushers against tight ends. To see if Van Ness is taking that next step into becoming a quality edge rusher, he needs to dominate these matchups. Let's check out how he does on this one. You can see the snap. There's the play action right there. And again, you can see the tight end. He's going to be one-on-one on Van Ness, and watch what he does to him. Oh, my goodness. Drives him back, throws him completely on his back, and then pressures Stafford. Just completely obliterates him. This is outstanding stuff right here from Van Ness. Just physical, utter dominance. I mean, folks, you don't see an NFL player, an NFL tight end, flail their arms like that, like it's like a freshman in high school football against a senior. I mean, look at that. I mean, that guy's just totally lost it right there for the Rams because Van Ness is just dominating him. Throws him to the ground, immediately gets north and south, pressure on the quarterback. Not Matthew Stafford, I apologize. He did not play for the Rams in this game. That was Rippon, I believe, filling in for Stafford. But it wouldn't have mattered on this one because Van Ness, also good hit on the end of that too. Good clean play too. Right in the chest. Clean right there. No low, no high, no penalty the refs can call there. All across the board. Nice play from the rookie here. Again, he doesn't get a lot of reps because the Packers are really deep at edge. I like to see him get a little bit more. But I tell you what, when he does get reps, he looks really good. And this plays a great example of that.
Yeah, Nick, and this is one of the highlights of Van Ness coming out of college. Talk about his power, his raw power and ability, his ridiculous ability to bend and get great angles on guys, blow them off the ball. And we're seeing that here, like you said, limited play time for Van Ness, but he shows that he is an impact player when he is on the field.
All right, let's go from the end zone view right here. And this is a run defense from Van Ness, who's right there. He's, again, the edge defender in this case. And the Rams, as an offensive strategy, they love running what's called a wide zone running concept. And this is basically how it works. You have the entire offensive line taking wide zone paths one direction, everyone working this way right here for the Rams. The running back will take this path like that and then get north and south. The whole theory behind this is to get the entire defense flowing this way, along with the zone scheme here. The offensive lineman will just get body on a body, and then the running back will find a hole and then get up the field. It worked really well for McVay for a very long time. A lot of teams have tried different strategies to counter it. The Packers came up with a really interesting one. Basically, what they did is they took the defensive tackle, in this case right here, and they forced him, they almost stunned him to go outside to create the edge of the defense. Because in this case, the guard's going to have to block him. The tackle's working out here. When this defensive tackle works out here, one-on-one on the guard's not going to be able to get there in time. It's going to force the running back to cut here, right? He can't get too much wider than he's going to have to cut here and get north and south. So what do the Packers do to counteract that? They bring the edge defender all the way around. It's a really wide path. Now, you have to take a really wide path because you got to make sure the guard doesn't see him and come off and pick him up. And you got to make sure the center doesn't pick him up either. So it's a very narrow margin for error. This edge defender, Van Ness in this case, has to loop all the way around and then come back inside and make the tackle here on the running back, cutting behind number 94. It's a really creative design by the Packers defense and great execution by Van Ness. Let's check out how it goes. All right, you can see the defensive tackle flying up the field and outside. You can see Van Ness stunning inside behind him. Right, you see how he has to take such an angle where the center doesn't see him coming and the guard doesn't see him coming. It's a very thin line, right? And he does a great job. Keeps it tight to the defensive tackle. That's the key part. He's got to be real close, right off the defensive tackle's hip. Then he's got to get his foot in the ground right here, because this is the one risky thing about this scheme. If your edge defender can't get his foot in the ground and cut back, you can see right now the Rams have blockers downfield on everybody. They got two guys on the linebacker. They have two guys on the corner. They got an outside receiver working to another defensive back down the field. I mean, this is a huge run for the Rams if Van Ness, the edge defender, can't get his foot ground and make the tackle. That's exactly what he does. Gets help from his guy right there, blowing up the play a little bit more. Again, good work by the defensive tackle, giving his buddy some help, but it wouldn't have mattered because Van Ness was right there anyway. I tell you what, you only call this play. You only have this strategy for the Packers defense if you trust the athleticism of your edge defender. And Van Ness has that level of athleticism. He shows it right here. Again, is he the greatest athlete in every edge defender? No, he's not. But he's not the Bosa's. He's not Micah Parsons. He's not anybody like that. He's not Khalil Mack, right? But I tell you what, one of the questions was, can he at the NFL level make plays like this in space? And he certainly can. And his ability to maintain the athleticism like this gives that extra flexibility to the Packers defense and also creates big plays. This rookie, as he continues to show more and more opportunities like this, will get more playing time, and then will give the Packers defense a big boost.
Yeah, Nick, and this is really great seeing this from Van Ness, because that was one thing that was kind of hidden about his game in college. Most people didn't realize that he was actually one of the best run defenders as an edge player coming into this draft. Is it 80.9 run defense grade coming out of college? And you see here, one of those reasons of why he was such a great run defender is his elite speed. This guy runs a 4.5 40. You're able to see his makeup speed there as he plants his foot and, hawks down the ball carrier. This guy, like you said, he has some pretty good athleticism, has good speed, but he's also a very good run defender coming out of college. So he's a very complete player so far.
All right, going back to a pass rush, there is Van Ness right there on the right side of your screen with his hand down. This is another play action from the Los Angeles Rams. Going to be running back inside, quarterback's going to fake him, and then set up in the pocket. And again, right here, the Rams, for whatever reason, decided to leave one-on-one on Van Ness with the tight end. And again, in order to be a good pass rusher, when you get these matchups, you have to win these matchups. If you're going to be a great pass rusher, you have to dominate these matchups. We saw Van Ness dominate one earlier. Let's see him dominate another one right here. I tell you what, Packers fans, this rookie is getting better and better. You can see the snap, play action, and drives him to the ground, pressures the quarterback, flushes him outside the pocket. Is what you need, right? If you're an edge defender, one-on-one on the tight end. And again, the way this defense is situated, he has to respect the outside contain first. Because remember, the Rams are running this speed sweep action across the screen here. They love running speed sweep. So if you're an edge defender, you got to respect that. You can see why Lukas Van Ness takes one step outside real quick just to make sure it's not a speed sweep. But once he recognizes and realizes it's not a speed sweep, he transitions to a bull rush, drives him back. Higbee, the tight end for the Rams, ends up flat on his back and gets pressure on the quarterback. I tell you what, folks, this is awesome stuff, right? I love his strength. I love how he uses his arms and his hands. Right there. Look at that extension right there. That's one hand, basically. His right hand's not doing a whole lot. That's one hand in Higbie's chest, and he's just driving him back and then throwing him aside like he's nothing, and then pressures the quarterback. The strength, the transition from speed to power, every physical tool you want from an edge defender, Van Ness has, and he's starting to show it in big moments for this Packers defense. He's had a little bit of a slow start to his rookie career so far. Part of that is playing time, but I think the more and more reps he gets, the better he gets, and before long, he'll start being extremely productive as well. There's a lot of things to like from Lukas Van Ness.
Yeah, Nick, and I think one thing you attribute to is just how little playing time Van Ness has gotten so far. He hasn't had more than 20, 30 snaps in any game this season, but we already see the impact he's making. We've already seen a lot of growth out of him. He's grown a lot through each of these games if you look at his PFF grades. And I think the more playing time that this guy gets, the better he's going to be, and the more the Packers are going to see that this guy could be a star, as seeing as they draft him number 13 overall in this draft. This guy could break out and be the player they expect him to be.
All right, going back to a run defense, there's Van Ness right there on the right side of your screen in the stand-up edge defender situation. This is kind of a third and longish situation for the Rams on offense. They're going to stick to a kind of a draw to kind of cross up the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are treating this sort of like a long pass rush situation. And this is actually a situation where the Rams were in a good position, right? Because they were doing pass sets and blocking everybody up front. They actually had bodies on pretty much everybody for a chance for a big play here. But watch Van Ness. He recognizes what's happening. I love when I see young defenders, when they have the mentality, see ball, get ball. Van Ness makes the play and potentially prevents a big Rams conversion. Let's check out how he does. You can see the Rams, it's basically an inside trap action on third long, trying to break something. And they've got a hole, folks. It's right there, right? There's a big seam right there. They've got bodies on bodies. They've got the pulling guard. Number 94 for the Green Bay Packers here. Again, he thinks it's a long yardage situation, so he kind of goes into a pass rush move and kind of blows himself out of the play there a little bit. Again, he thinks it's a pass rush and winds out this hole. There's a lot of green grass. But look at Van Ness. Let's go back to the very beginning here. Fights through the tight end, comes down inside and makes a tackle. Now, I will say this, 59 probably makes a play too. I think there's no doubt about that, right? But again, that's because another really nice play from a Packers linebacker. This would not have been an easy play to make in space. But Van Ness prevents any bad things from even getting started. He recognizes, see ball, get ball, clean tackle, right? Because there are situations, we see them every Sunday, right? Whereas a linebacker in space against a running back, it's a tough assignment, misses the tackle, big conversion, could have changed the complexion of the game. You never know. But Van Ness fights to a block, reads, makes a tackle. These are the plays I love to see because a lot of young defenders, right, especially really talented pass rushers who have a lot of great tools, they don't have the ability to recognize what's going on in the running game in front of them. They kind of just run into people, right? They create chaos, but they're not really productive. We're seeing from Van Ness now some production. Fights off the block, recognizes the run inside, makes a tackle. Nice stuff here from the rookie.
Yeah, Nick, and this is really impressive because there's a stat that PFF uses. It's called stops. And a stop is a tackle that constitutes in a failure for the offense, as you can see in a play like this right here. And Lukas Van Ness has been incredible at getting stops this season. He already has 8 stops this season in limited playing time. Compare that to other players on the Packers, like for instance, Rashawn Gary, 9 stops this season with considerably more play time. Devondre Campbell, 12 stops this season with much more play time than a guy like Van Ness. Van Ness, in the limited amount of play time he has gotten this year, has really done a lot and made a lot of big time impact plays, especially these stops.
All right, going back to the sideline view, there is Van Ness right there as a stand-up edge. This is a one-on-one pass rushing situation between him and the left tackle. Again, we've seen a lot of Van Ness do some good things. We've seen him dominate tight ends, which any good pass rusher needs to do. We're seeing him make good plays in the running game, which obviously if you're going to play defense and every down defender, you need to do as well. But a key thing we need to see more of Van Ness is winning one-on-one matchups in the pass rush game. That's where edge defenders really need to shine, beating the offensive line in front of you. Let's check out how Van Ness does on this play. I think it's an indicator of more things to come from this exciting rookie. All right, so you can see one-on-one right there. They isolated the left tackle on Van Ness, right? Again, these are the situations. If you're going to be a quality pass rusher, you have to excel. Watch what he does. I love this. I love how he attacks vertically first. A lot of young defenders, they either go right into the bull rush or right into some speed move. That's what veteran offensive linemen and frankly, young offensive linemen want. The hardest thing to do for an offensive lineman is to react. So the best move, I think, for an edge defender to use is to be vertical up the field, threaten them with speed, and then transition into an inside move or a bull rush. I think that's the most productive thing you can do, and that's exactly what Van Ness does here. Again, look at the extension in his arms, folks. Vertical, transitions to power. Look how he uses his long arms. You can kind of see right there, the offensive tackle can't even get his arms into Van Ness. Van Ness has, look at that lean, folks. Look at that position of being as a pass rusher. That's phenomenal technique from Van Ness. That's a powerful position. He's got his hands in the left tackle's chest. And right there, transition speed, power, pressure on the quarterback. Now, it's a quick game from the Rams, right? So obviously, in this situation, Sean McVay, the play caller for the Rams, wanted to get the ball out of Rippon's hands quickly. So obviously, Van Ness didn't get a chance to get a quarterback hit for a sack on this one. But look how cleanly he beats the left tackle. Left tackle, again, ends up on the ground. I tell you what, it is uncanny how many times guys who are trying to block Van Ness end up either on their back or on the face. That's usually a good sign of a quality defender. And this is a great example of it. Speed rush, transition to power, work your way inside, right in the quarterback's grill. If it had not been a quick game, this is a sack, maybe a sack fumble. If Van Ness can continue this, and I think he will, and continue to develop as a pass rusher, he'll become just a secret weapon for this Packers defense. We know the Packers have had troubles at times on offense. It's clearly their weak spot. Their defense has carried their team in the wins they've had. But I tell you what, Van Ness adding another weapon to this defense could make the Packers dangerous the second half of the season. All right, finishing up with one of my favorite plays from Van Ness's performance against the Rams. There he is right there on the left side of your screen playing the left edge defender. And the Rams are running kind of a power concept. They're going to have everybody up front basically blocked down here. They're going to pull the guard to try and wrap around in this situation, whether get linebacker, there's a corner that could potentially fill that's off your screen right here that could fill as well. But I want to focus on Van Ness because in these situations, if you look at where this play could be designed to go, if you look at how these blocks shake out from an offensive perspective, you look at this natural double team here, you look at all these blocks here and then potentially a puller to clean up in this hole, you can see where they want the offense wants to work. They want to create a seal there and a seal there, and they have a puller coming through in this alley right here. That's where they want to go because you can see there's some green grass right here. When you're in Van Ness's position right here as the edge defender, you have a two-part responsibility. One, you don't want to get reached. You want to secure the edge to make sure they don't bounce it outside. But number two, you want to compress this hole. You want to get rid of as much green grass as possible. If you can do those two things in a situation like this, you're doing a great job. But Van Ness actually goes above and beyond and helps create a big play for the Packers defense. Let's check it out. All right, you can see the down blocks from the Rams offense. You can see the pulling guard. You can see the one-on-one block right here. Van Ness, again, abusing 87. And again, we talk about compressing the hole, right? This is what you want. Into his chest. Again, the play is designed to go right off Tyler Higbee, the tight end right there, his butt right in this hole. That's where the Rams want to run the football. If Van Ness powers down inside a lot, they'll wrap around him. But this is the natural design of the hole right here. And again, you can see how Van Ness immediately compresses it. Basically, there's no chance right here. This play's done. At this point, the guard for the Rams recognizes all this garbage. He's a veteran guy. That's Dotson for the Rams, formerly the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in this situation, you're taught, okay, wrap, secure the outside, and the running back will then bounce outside. This is a situation where any edge defender, he's done a good job so far. But the third challenging situation is, can you play off of this block and bounce outside once again after compressing the hole? And Van Ness does it perfectly. Right there, he bounces outside. The running back, number 24, sees Van Ness, and he cuts back inside. Let's go back to the very beginning. Again, compresses the hole, forces the running back inside, fumble, right? Because all your help is inside. When you talk about fumbles and turnovers, look, the guys who punch the ball out and recover it, they're the stars as they should be. But you don't get those opportunities if you don't have guys like Van Ness doing their job. The two-parter, right? Compress the hole, force the running back to bounce outside, and then play off the block to force them back inside, take up two blockers, right? He takes the tight end and the pulling guard, gets a free hit on the running back, forces a fumble, right? This is what's Packers defense. This is what will make them even more dangerous. They've got a lot of quality players, but having a guy, especially off the bench, that can come down and make plays like this is why the Packers, I think, could be a serious contender the second half of the season. Their defense can make big stops. They can make big plays. They can keep the score down. And if Jordan Love can just improve a little bit, they'll win a lot of football games and find themselves in the playoff hunt.